This is G with aromaG's Botanica, and this is our Friday live show where we talk about all sorts of things that are witchy, new age, esoteric, and sometimes a little bit weird. And today we're going to talk about 5 stones you should be using for protection. Now, some of these you may not have heard of to use for protection, but I found it interesting when I was researching these. I thought, well, I never thought to use that stone that way. So we're going to go over those. We're going to tell you about lots of other things that are coming up, new shows, and we'll pull a card at the end and see what your future is for the next week. So let's go over the stones. The first one I have for you, it is hematite. Now, the energy of stones, they're meant to resonate with you to bring about a certain feeling, a certain reaction, something that you can call on to. It either resonates with you, or it changes your vibration, or you call upon it to do something for you. So, hematite, it's used during a transition or transformation part of your life. It's good for its negative absorbing properties. It absorbs negativity. It has also the balancing and grounding energies can be helpful when you're trying to build like a solid foundation in times that are kind of tough. It's thought to make people more creative. People think it's good for more blood flow, for bodily. And when it's tumbled, like this, it can be sort of naturally opaque where you can't really see in it. There might be reds and grays mixed into it. When it's in a more natural state that's not tumbled, you can actually write with hematite in it. Turns out the writing turns out red. It's an elemental earth sign. It aligns with Aquarius and Leo and also the root chakra. So, sometimes people buy hematite rings from our shop at aromaG's, and the theory is that you wear it so long, it absorbs as much negativity as it can, and then it eventually breaks. One thing you can do to lengthen the life of hematite rings or hematite jewelry, things that are thinner than this large stone, is to in the evenings rest it in a little bed of salt to let the salt absorb the negativity, and it's supposed to make the ring last longer. So the next one is black onyx. This is also a tumbled piece, and it's supposed to manifest confidence and strength, which are when you're dealing with protection. Those are two qualities you need to defend yourself. Sort of being able to handle anything that's thrown your way. It is good for enhancing self confidence. Sort of supposed to boost your physical vigor and your inner powers. Well, you find it in a lot of jewelry, and it's supposed to also, like, if you're feeling like mentally like a haze, or your concentration is off, you can keep black onyx with you. It aligns to the root chakra, and the signs of the zodiac that are associated with it are Gemini and Scorpio. It's also like an element of earth. Now, one you may not have heard for protection, this one even surprised me, is malachite. Which malachite these days is getting more and more expensive. It's very, very pretty. Um, Sometimes you'll find it in jewelry, and it's mixed with other components to make it harder because it can be a soft stone. But it's excellent for warding off evil spirits. It's supposed to repel like all bad energy, whether the energy is coming from an internal place or an external place. If you are the person being negative, it's supposed to help push that down and help you balance out. If it's coming from other places, then it's supposed to help, protect you against things. Um, it's supposed to also help with things like security and just generally reducing negativity and boosting your health and things like that. Of course, being green, it's associated with the heart chakra, and the signs of the zodiac is associated with are Taurus and Scorpio. So that is malachite. Another one we don't normally think of for protection is amethyst. And this is a small druzy piece I got from the shop. And it's for more psychological protection. The amethyst purple is when you're dealing with the chakras here, we're dealing with the colors up here that deal with the third eye, that deal with your connection to spirit. If you're noticing, this is actually a amethyst ring that a client gave me one year for Christmas. And, it's to clear out irrational and unfavorable and worrisome thoughts. So think of it this way, like the amethyst is dealing with thought patterns and things you're thinking about. So it's more of a higher functioning thing. It's not like dealing with um physical protection, it's more like mental protection. A lot of people wear it as necklaces and things to sort of safeguard them against nightmares, and it's known for psychic attacks. So that's another thing it's good for. Um, and of course, it's aligned with the third eye chakra. I'm not quite sure which signs of the zodiac this one lines up to, but I'm sure that's easily found. And then the last one, which I use quite a bit, is tourmaline, black tourmaline. It's supposed to be like a defender when it comes to protection magic. It's supposed to stop negative thoughts and energy from spreading. And what it does, it's supposed to absorb that negativity and replaces it with neutrality. It's uh, it's sort of like it doesn't completely get rid of what's going on. It's like it pulls it into the stone, and then instead of pushing it back out into the world, it or pushes it away, it pushes it back out in a way that it's sort of neutral. It's like it cancels it out. We'll say it that way. So you can use this when in times when you feel frightened or alone. Just keep tourmaline in your pocket. It's supposed to help emotional pain and gets rid of upsetting feelings. So this one I tell people with tourmaline, it's something you can also do to protect your house. Is you can anoint 4 pieces of tourmaline with protection or some sort of protection oil, like Protect Me or Wall of Fire, and bury it in the 4 corners of the house. You could take 8 pieces if you wanted to, which is like a double shield of protection, and also bury it in the 4 corners of the property. So you can also get this in tumbled, which those would last longer because this untumbled it does chip quite easily. So those are like 5 stones you can use for protection. Um, Hopefully that was helpful. Some of them, there's tons you can use, but that's 5 that came up to mind for me. I do want to tell you about some of the things we've got going on. We're going to do this Friday Live every Friday. We're going to take on a different metaphysical topic. We did Friday Lives for a short time before COVID hit. And of course, COVID changed everything. So these are now back. But we're also going to, coming up is going to be every other Thursday. What we're going to do is start doing live sales. So that's something we're excited about. We have ordered lots of different things. Stones you don't normally see in the shop. It's mainly going to be crystals and stones and some larger pieces, some interesting things. And I mean, we're really excited with all this stuff. We got some really pretty stuff to put in the live sales. I mean, some of it may not even reach the table because I might snatch some of it. But we're going to do that every other Thursday. It begins on December 29th is the first live sale, and that will be on exclusively on YouTube. So you'll need to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll be able to see when we're going to do those. I'm actually going to show you right here. So if you're wherever you're watching this, make sure to like the video. If you're looking at it on YouTube, go over and subscribe because you don't want to miss those out. And then also every other Thursday, the Thursdays between the live sales, myself and Reverend Roy, we're going to have sort of a chat show. We actually haven't named it yet, where we're going to be interviewing someone. Um, it could be an author, it could be someone who is a magical practitioner, professors, all sorts of things. So we're gonna different things dealing with metaphysical and magical um, topics. So that the first one with that is the Thursday is January the 5th, I believe. So yeah, every other Thursday. One Thursday will be a live sale. The next Thursday, the interview show, back to a live sale, and so on and so on. And the first live sale is Thursday, December 29th. So the next thing I want to bring up is there is a part where I'm going to include a segment every Friday where I talk about witches on the internet, because we all find just crazy stuff on the internet all the time, and sort of like to not to mess with anyone or to degrade anyone or anything. We just want to talk about what they're saying and, what we feel about it. Well, I was reading something in an online forum and someone was asking advice about something. And this woman comes in and her comment was, see, some of you shouldn't be messing with spells because you don't know enough. People come to me because I'm a 10th generation bloodline witch. A 10th generation bloodline witch. Okay. It could be true for her. You never know. But I see this sort of comment all the time. And I think people don't think that most of us know math, because if you think about that, 10 generations, that's 250 years. Now, I know that I can trace my family back to 1085 on one side, but they didn't really keep records about what they were magically practicing or what their religious practices or things were. So that's a pretty hefty statement. I'm going to have to see some receipts on your great 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 whatever grandmother from 250 years ago. So, but my point is, you don't have to make these statements to be taken seriously. Because when I read statements like this, I don't take them seriously. It's more important for you to study, learn your craft, become the best version of whatever it is that you do or you learn till you get to the point where you can also teach or guide other people. And you should always be learning, no matter if you started this 6 months ago or 60 years ago. So you really just don't need strange statements like this to me, because it makes you look more foolish than knowledgeable. 10 generations, 250 years. Okay. So we're going to pull a card to see what the upcoming energy is for the week. And this is a cool deck that I'm sorry to say we do not carry in the store. I actually found this on Etsy. Let me show you some of the imagery. It is the Rider-Waite deck, but look at this cool patina it has all over it, and the way that they designed the cards. I'll tell you the name of it is, because I still have the box, of course, the Rider-Waite Tarot Deck, Vintage by Dark Forest. So, well, now we do have lots of Rider-Waite cards in the store, but not this one. It's a pretty thick deck. So I'm just going to shuffle. We're going to pull one card and figure out what your message is for the whole upcoming week. One. Interesting. For the first Friday live show, we got the Fool, which does not mean being foolish. It's actually the beginning of a journey. It's the start of something. So, this week it looks like something is going to begin for you. It can mean new beginnings. It's like having faith in the future. Sometimes it can be a card of naivete, where there's things you don't know and you need to learn. It can be an improvisation card, sometimes beginner's luck. So there's something that will begin for if this resonates with some of you, there's something you will start this week. And only you'll know what that is. So yeah, it's the Fool card. So just remember to join us every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to do this show. Don't forget about the live sales coming up for December 29th. And also, don't forget to check out our website over at aromags.com or aromagregory.com. And I hope you had a good time learning about the 5 crystals you should be using for protection. I'll see you next Friday.